Okay, so this is going to be somewhat of a controversial topic, and it's going to upset a little bit of people. And it's this weird reaction to men's physique. So let's break down everyone's complaint about men's physique. You wear board shorts. You cover up to the knee. Okay, so I've obviously competed in men's physique. I agree, I really don't care for the board shorts. I feel like the WBFF, whatever the fuck it is, that European organization that they do the muscle model things, I think they should do that with men's physique. So instead of down to the knee, I feel like it should be about halfway down the thigh is what the shorts should be, and they should be slightly loose. I don't know what you call them. They look like Ranger panties, if anybody's familiar with Army terms. I feel like that would be great for men's physique, and I feel like that would change up the judging criteria a little bit and give a full... People just stop criticizing it so much, which it's funny that people criticize it so much because it's the one division that every pro show has. Pro shows don't want to have bodybuilding anymore. Pro shows are having classic a lot more, which is great. Pro shows don't have 212 anymore. They want men's physique because you're seeing bigger stars coming out of men's physique than anyone else. And that's a fact. I can pull you up numbers on that. You're seeing people with more followers on Instagram and social media platforms. You're seeing more people who are modeling for muscle magazines and stuff like that in men's physique. And you're seeing more sponsorship money go to men's physique because they are the healthier, they are the ideal look. Because not everybody can look like Bumstead. He's fucking huge. Like, if you look at him, you're like, shit, that's a big boy. He's just got a tiny waist. So the reason I wanted to make this video is because there's something I've seen drastically and that I really want to address because there's so many people I want to break the stigma of. I know so many guys who are in the NPC that are competing in either classic or bodybuilding that would be pro men's physique guys and possibly making tons of money every year. And they don't do it because they're like, oh, I'm a bodybuilder, bro. I don't want to do that shit. I'm a bodybuilder. It's like, you're a bodybuilder who's not making any money being bodybuilding. So what are we doing here? Like, why are you bodybuilding? If you've been competing for 10 years in the NPC, the fuck are you doing? Like, you're not making any money. Unless you got some big following on social media, I know you're not making any money. You're not making any show money, that's for sure. Which there's not a ton of show money in the industry anyways. Like, I mean, if you get a men's physique guy who competes a lot, let's say he's not an Olympia winner or Arnold winner, but he competes in men's physique a lot, he'll probably do an extra, in 4 to 5 shows, he'll probably do an extra like 30 grand in a year, maybe, on top of his sponsorships and shit like that. And that's if you have the sponsorships who will pay to go and for you to do all your stuff. But I know so many guys who look so good and they have the build for men's physique. They have higher upper lats, they've got a smaller waist, and they don't have that gigantic bodybuilding size, but they're so insistent on this shit. And it's either the gym they go to or it's just, oh, I followed bodybuilding since I was like 10 years old and I want to be in this division. It's like, yo, okay, then take 500 milligrams of test, take a week, take fucking insulin, take human growth hormone, do all that shit, or stop and go into, and if you want to compete so bad, compete in a division that's best for you. That's the problem, is I see so many people who are like, well, I need to be in bodybuilding because I'm a bodybuilder. It's like, your frame fits better for men's physique, or your frame fits better for classics, so why don't you do that? Oh no, I started in bodybuilding, I'm gonna end in bodybuilding. Have fun ending with nothing to show for it. No pro card, nothing. Like, there's no... With a lot of these guys, it's just like, well, wait until you're 35 plus, then you can go do masters. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand this shit, and that it's... And there's people who are just built for men's physique, and they're not built for classic, or they're not built for open, and it just... I hate seeing people, especially people I know, waste their time. And waste it on a division that's failing. In bodybuilding, the division is failing. There's less viewers at every show you go to. There's less stars now than ever. Who's your biggest stars? Phil? Kai? Who doesn't even compete anymore. Sean. Broly. And in my personal opinion, I like Cedric. Cedric's the only one I really actually like his physique. Other than that, who are we talking about? Who are we talking about here? It's not like it was in the 90s and early 2000s where everybody was talking about Ronnie. Everybody was talking about Kevin Levrone. Everybody was talking about Flex. Like, it's just not there anymore. People are talking about classic guys nowadays. People are talking men's physique. The reaction to the men's physique win when Brandon Hendrickson beat Jeremy Buendia was bigger than the reaction to the classic physique win, because I watched them. And you hear the crowd and you're like, holy shit, people are freaking out. Obviously the biggest reaction of the past of Olympia was Sean beating Phil, because that's a monumental thing. For a guy who's won for 7 years, I get that. But still, I'd compare that to the men's physique one. That one was a huge crowd. You saw that place was packed out. Like, people love to criticize men's physique and bikini, but they're the two divisions that make the most money for the IFBB, and the two divisions that everybody wants to go and watch, and that everybody wants to follow those people, and why there's the most stars in those two divisions. And it's just, there's a stigma that it's not bodybuilding. Let me tell you this right now, and something that nobody who's in the bodybuilding division will tell you. Men's physique is bodybuilding, classic physique is bodybuilding, open bodybuilding is bodybuilding. Women's bikini is bodybuilding, women's figure is bodybuilding, women's physique is bodybuilding, and women's fitness is bodybuilding. Stop with the bullshit and saying something isn't bodybuilding. If you're in the gym and you're training to make the best version of yourself, you're in bodybuilding. Cut this shit out with saying only open bodybuilding is bodybuilding. It's ridiculous. And you see, because those open bodybuilders, all they do is talk shit about the other divisions because they're scared. They're scared that their division is going away. You see at every NPC show, less people are competing in open bodybuilding. More people are competing in class physique and men's physique than ever. Men's bodybuilding is dying at a regional level and at a pro level. And that's just fact. Dexter Jackson can kind of try to combat with that only once. It's fact. And it's all bodybuilding, which is, I hate this rhetoric that people have where it's like, oh, this isn't bodybuilding, they wear shorts. Who cares? There are a bunch of men's physique guys with great legs, but their frame fixed better for men's physique. And why would they want to do 212? Why would they want to do that to their body? Why would they want to make themselves at such an extremely heavy weight that their body can't take it, and then wind up with back problems or kidney problems or any of this other shit? Like, why would you want to end up like Ronnie Coleman, who's never going to be able to walk unassisted without crutches again? Why? Why would you want to do that? There's no reason. Like, and this is kind of dickish, and like, I guess it's a narcissistic thing to say, but why would you want to get that big and then look like Dorian Yates or Arnold when you shrink down and you got like loose skin hanging on you because you were so gigantic, and you just look awkward when you're older? Like, that sounds terrible. Look at Lee Haney, look at Brian Buchanan, look at Frank Zane. In their older age, they all look great because they were never mass monsters. Jay Cutler just looks big, but you can see he's kind of got a gut going. He doesn't have abs anymore. Like, he's going to keep fading. Ronnie Coleman looks terrible. Kevin Levrone, God, we saw him at the Olympia, and it's like, dude, what happened to your legs? Jesus. And it's just because you can't sustain that. And it's going to affect you later in life. So people need to stop with this criticizing of classic or men's physique or bikini and just realize those are just the healthier options. They just are. They're the healthier options. And people hate to hear this, but sometimes your frame doesn't fit open bodybuilding. Sometimes your frame is going to fit best men's physique. Sometimes your frame isn't going to fit men's physique, and you need to do classic or something like that. And if you don't want to get that big, then so be it. Don't compete anymore. And this all comes down to competing, and it's like, why are you spending money competing at regional shows for years and years and years when you're not built for that division? It's just something that people have to sit there and honestly, critically, either ask somebody who's going to be honest with them, or critically sit down and look at your own stage shots and go, do I fit this? And if you don't, maybe it's time for you to just work out and stop wasting your money, or maybe it's time to change divisions. I've seen a bunch of people who've moved to classic from bodybuilding, and they do great. because they're more built for that. They don't have what it takes to get to 280 pounds. They don't have that shit. And I don't think people should do that. I think there's some people who can do that, like Phil Heath. I think there's people that can. I would never recommend that to somebody. And like it's some people, a lot of people don't want to hear that bodybuilding is not doing well. Look at the numbers. It's not. It's really not. And some people are just so set and they see it as bodybuilding. Let me tell you something. Bodybuilding, when Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane, Franco Columbu, Serge Nubret, all those guys did it, is not bodybuilding today. And that is something people do not realize. What happened was happening in the 70s. That is not what is happening today. Classic physique isn't what was happening in the 70s. So all these people you looked up to that you're like, oh, I need to do bodybuilding because Arnold's my hero. I guarantee you Arnold wouldn't do open bodybuilding today. He would do classic physique. I guarantee you. He's said multiple times that classic physique's the best thing that's happened to bodybuilding. His quote was something like that. Don't quote me on that. I don't. I'm just being a dick. I don't know. It was something like that. Whenever Classic came out, he was extremely supportive of the division, and he was talking about that it really needed to be, and he was really against open bodybuilding and talking about the bubble guts and all the problems that people are having, just trying to push too far past how big can I be. And we need to go back to what bodybuilding originally was. Quality over quantity. Frank Zane beat guys a lot bigger than him because he had the best quality. Nowadays, it's just the biggest guy wins. Well, not exactly. Sean Roden beat Phil Heath, but Sean had quality and quantity, and Rolly was just quantity. My point to this is people don't like to talk about it, but this isn't an expensive industry to be in. Registration fees cost a good amount of money. Your spray tan costs a good amount of money. If you're flying out somewhere, you got your flight and your hotel. It costs a lot of money. So let me explain this a little bit more. If you have sponsors that pay for all this, do whatever you want. But I don't. And if you have a ton of money to blow, do whatever you want. But I just don't recommend people pursuing a dream that's damn near impossible for them because they're not structurally built for it, and that's your genetics. Your genetics are going to decide where your lats tie into your body. Like your genetics are going to decide whether you have really round muscle bellies or really have really long ones. People have to look at this critically because I hate seeing people get upset and they're just wasting money and they're living in an apartment, but they're spending like $5,000 a year on shows trying to do something in a division that they don't fit in. And it's just all because of this rhetoric that men's physique and classic aren't bodybuilding. They are. Every division that is in the IFBB and NPC is bodybuilding. So please, sit there and actually look at something critically and figure out where you need to be. So that's honestly just my opinion. I've felt this way for probably a year now. And I've seen a lot of people that I know personally that I'm like, if you had just switched to men's physique, you'd probably be a top 10 Olympian. Your following would blow up because you'd win a couple shows and you'd be making a lot of money and your life would be drastically different right now. And if they're happy the way they are, I'm happy for them. But it's just, I hate seeing potential being wasted. That's what this all comes down to. I hate seeing potential being wasted. I love seeing progress in people, and I love seeing people do their best. Even if I really don't like you that much, I enjoy when I see people accomplish things, because that's awesome. It really is, especially if it's like, I know that guy, and we've talked a lot, and we don't talk often, but it's awesome that he just went pro, and congrats to him. But that's the thing, man. I hate seeing potential being wasted, and maybe people really need to critically break down where they need to be. And who knows, like, there's some guys that they drop a division, they go pro the next year, and then they get like top 3 to pro show, and they're more successful in bodybuilding. Yes, in bodybuilding, even though it's in classic or men's physique, than they've ever been for the past 6 years. So that's just my thoughts. Is honestly break down where you need to be and what you should be doing, and go do it. So other than that, I appreciate you guys for watching this. Give a like on this. Comment on this if you disagree with me. I know a lot of people are, and that's fine. We'll talk about it. subscribe to my channel if you feel like it. I'd appreciate it. And follow me on Instagram, wherever. And I'll see you guys next time.